Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Studio 70 True Crimes. I'm Shirak.
And I'm Ezu, and today we got another good one. It's another Dulos case. Specifically, we're to talk about the vehicles and drivers because, man, when I went through the timeline, it was really confusing. I said, if I'm confused, I'm sure everybody's confused.
I definitely was
So hopefully,
confused.
yeah, I was too. So that's silly. So let's break through that confusion and let's get into it. Hello, welcome back. And let me tell you, what should we say, Shirak?
Yes, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research and don't forget to subscribe and always be kind to everyone. Subscribe, comment, and share with your friends.
Yes, please do. And that subscribe is huge. I was teasing last time. If you get one person to help subscribe, we'll make our number.
Yeah.
Because when we get to 1,000, we'll be able to do a lot more. We can do some stuff now. We'll get memberships going. We'll get live chats going,
Awesome.
Goodies going, all this other stuff. But we want to share with as many people as can because as we grow the community, I just believe you guys are really smart. We consider you our family. We grow that family. We get the positivity in what we do. And we're going to just be more strong and strengthen what we find and what we provide these cases. We let the professionals do their job, but we can, we're all smart. We can all throw in our ideas and help out where we can.
You could probably help break some of these crimes.
You never know. I mean, even if it's just one, any aspect to it. So today we're going to talk about vehicles and drivers of the Dulos case. I should have said timeline, but yeah, when we went through last time, it was crazy. But if you don't know anything about this case, check out our episode, our timeline review, who did it. That gives a little bit background on the overall case. But if you want to know the longer story version, check out Annalise and Kendall Ray. They do a great job of going into in detail, like basically an hour. They do a longer version of it. But if you're looking at this, we assume that you know some of the case, so at least some aspects to it, the basic stuff. And what we do here in Studio 70 is we have a crime board. This is the Dulos case crime board. What it is we put on here different things, topics we're going to cover, things that are factual, things we feel confident about. And if you see this community vote section in the middle, that means we polled you guys as a community. And based on your feedback, this is how we feel as a community, how we feel about that particular topic. So we're confident that it's May 24th is when Jennifer went missing, deceased. We feel confident it was done at her house. But the community vote was that you all felt it was Photos and Michelle and not Kent based on, on the vote. So that's what it means. We're going to get into these other aspects to her in later episodes, but that's how we put the board together so we can kind of, as together community, kind of break through and figure out what we think went on.
This looks like that Clue, that game, right? Who did it the most?
It's either Clue or it's that board where the strings are, yeah. But I figure this is a good way to see like what we've discussed in the past and things like that. So again, we built all this information on Fotis' arrest warrant, the affidavit, all the court documents, basically. There's a few of them, and I download them all. I go through them and build out this timeline.
Comb through the data.
Based on that, okay? I must admit that, some of the early episodes, I relied upon some information from other sources, and I realize it's just always better to stick with this and stick to more factual stuff. So we're going to talk about May 24th, high-level timeline. Now, I'm going to go through this relatively quickly because that episode of the timeline, I go basically through the same information, reading it off, kind of just explaining the timeline of when things occurred. I'm going to kind of go through it rather quickly instead of reading everything because this is more of like who was driving what vehicle, where were the vehicles at, and providing more visuals.
And it looks pretty neat. I like the way it was presented.
Thank you.
Definitely.
And we do all the work ourselves. We don't have there's a lot of bigger podcasters, even smaller ones like ours that have a team or one or two. We do it all ourselves, folks. So
this is our weekend.
This is hands-on. It's authentic, we'll pitch there. So let's get into it. So So you could see 8 Mountain Spring Road was basically a photo Dulos' property. I think it was one of the properties he was working on. And then you see that red truck, and that's not his truck. That's what's his name? Oh boy, I forgot his first name. Anyhow, that was somebody else's. That's not his pickup truck. But basically, it starts off with the red pickup truck drives off the property of 80 Mountain Spring Road and turns left on Mountain Spring Road southbound. Okay.
It's like Gumi.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of his first name. Escapes me. So basically, the red truck starts off there, leaves, and then is there it is. Gumi's truck was found. Sorry, I couldn't remember his first name now. Just my brain isn't working today. I apologize, guys. But it was found traveling southbound from there to the Waverly Park area. Yes. Okay, so again, you see the we're it's kind of funny doing this because from people in other countries or other states, they're like, oh, look at this state.
Yes.
We drive this stuff all the time, so it's kind of weird seeing this. It's like I drove that road.
There to go to work.
There you go. So basically, at 7:03 a.m., basically the truck was at a New Canaan rest area at 7:03 a.m. You can see my awesome copy and paste the truck. Okay. Yes. That's not real footage, obviously. It's just me trying to paste and give you guys an idea. All right. At 7:05 on is that how you say Lamp Road? I know I'm going to say that wrong. The school bus basically sees an empty turnout. And I'm not sure if this is the exact turnout. Turnout is kind of like sometimes either a turnaround or a spot where you can kind of pull off, from what I understood. This is probably not the exact one. I went crazy. Chirac can tell you how long I went trying to find the exact spot. I was trying to find the pictures. I couldn't find nothing. It was just crazy. So this is just for, example.
Yeah. Do you think we can actually go there and take a photo of the shot?
Well, we're gonna go. When we go in April, we're gonna try to take a look and see if we can make heads or tails. I'm gonna also do some more investigation on pictures, but all the pictures didn't show. I don't know. I don't have the right ones.
Pictures. How about
I would take our own pictures. Yeah. So basically, this just shows here.
This is Jennifer Dulos' home.
I don't have. Okay, I think it's on the next screen. But basically, this shows the truck is in this Lamp. I don't know how to say this right. Lamp Road, and basically this bicycle route, 22 minutes going up to Weed Street. And then to Jennifer Dulos' home on Wells Lane. Now, you see sometimes it says 71, sometimes it says 69. Chirac, I know you have the answer. And what is the answer? Why some says 69, some says 71?
Yeah, it's because they changed his AKA. They changed it from 69 to 71. And I want to just say that word. I think it's, because PH is pronounced as a F. So it's Lampham.
What?
Lampham. Like
Lampham Road?
Yeah.
Whew. Sorry, guys. She's the one that pronounces. I'm awful.
I try to, but I speak Spanish, so sometimes I try to do it in.
No, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
So basically, the surveillance showed a person riding. That's why I showed it the other one first. Basically, ram horn handlebars, the old style, like almost like an antique style bicycle, doing that route. It took about 20 minutes. Which here you could see mine said 22, so that's pretty accurate. Going through the same thing, going from that Waverly Park up through Reed and over down Wales Lane. Okay. So I just showed the route, and here it's just kind of explained that. That's at 7:31 a.m. Now, around 7:40 on that Lamp Road, if I'm saying it, Lampham, oh God, I'm going to say it. The bus traveling southbound at 7:40 showed a red truck consistent with Gumwey's pickup truck. So, I said that wrong too. His name. How you say his name again?
That's Gumini.
Okay, say. I think so. I think there's a different way they say it. That's why
it could be Gumini.
Yeah. So basically, and again, I'm sure the truck was positioned differently here, but that's the only shot that I have. So just again, this is just for example. I think visuals are good sometimes to see this stuff. And then 7:57. Just basically a school bus showed that was still parked in the same dirt turnout on the same road. So that's all.
Nice house. I want that house.
Jennifer Dulos' house. So at 8:05, victim arrives home. Jennifer's 2017 Chevrolet Suburban is shown on residential camera driving eastbound Long Wells Road towards her house and dropped off her children. So she arrives home. So that's her vehicle. That's at her house.
8:05 a.m.
8:05 a.m. So this is where these 2 hours or so, they're thinking that where the crimes happened. Okay. Again, I'm not spending too much time on all the specific words because we covered it in that last episode. I'm more focusing on places, times, and what happens, the vehicles and the people. So suspect leaves the scene, 10:25 a.m. Residential surveillance on Wells Lane shows Jennifer's Suburban traveling westbound away from 69 Wells Lane. See how it says 69 here? I put 71 because that was me putting in the newer number.
The new number,
It's the same location.
address.
Okay. So I showed the map here of where her house was and the route going to Lapf Road where the red truck was. All right. During this time, Jennifer Suburban is left on Lamford Turnout about 100 feet before the red truck was parked. Now, this didn't come from the, this is I typed out because they found her vehicle there. And I think this part was just missing. I just stayed it because you're going to see that the red truck is on the move again. So, and then we know we found the Suburban there. So obviously the person had to drop off the car and grab the red vehicle. So it's just stating that, the vehicle must have been dropped off at that time. Because as you notice at 11:12 a.m. on Route 15, northbound to Caden, the Toyota Tacoma is traveling northbound, passing this rest area. And again, I tried to pick the exact rest areas just
that's the northbound
show the pictures.
Parkway.
Yeah, and you can see it here, at 11:25 a.m. This is the Fairfield, seeing northbound Fairfield rest area. So it's traveling up northbound again. And then traveling northbound, passing Route 8. So again, I should have shown the bigger map, but just think of it as keep traveling north back up to his area. Traveling eastbound around 84, so north, and now going in the west. I know you're familiar with these exits. Exit 25A at noon. So basically, north is Route 15, and then you veer off to 84 going west.
Yeah.
Okay, at noon, the Toyota Tacoma is traveling eastbound along I-84 in Waterbury near exit 25A.
Now, we want to say also, like, Waterbury is further down south, from Farmington. So that's like maybe, a 30-minute ride, you could say?
Yeah, I think it's about 30 minutes. Yeah, going to, depending on traffic.
Depending on traffic, 30, 35
because here's
minutes.
Waterbury down here where the truck is, sort of, and that's where Farmington is, because that's where the destination is. Excuse me.
Waterbury.
So here's where I'd put in all the arrows and people. This is where it gets confusing. All the other stuff was pretty basic, visuals were good, but this is where it's really going to help. 222 at the Fotis property, the red Toyota is pulling into the driveway. Okay, so it's returning. You see the arrow; it's returning to the property.
It's returning, yep.
And now, surveillance shows a white Jeep followed by a red-black Chevrolet Suburban with a full rack. That's that thing on top you can see here based on the picture, pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road. So basically, it sounds, I know it's worded weird here, but basically, I think Troconis first arrives with the black Chevrolet Suburban first, okay? And this is an assumption. I know it's written wrong or odd there, but based on the next one, 201, the residential surveillance shows the white Jeep pulling into 80 Mountain Spring Road from the direction of Jefferson Crossing. So they both couldn't arrive at the same time following, and then she arrived again a few minutes later. It doesn't make any sense. So I think it's he got there first, and then she got there. Let me go back. I'm gonna go back a slide. So it's 136. Because the reason why I say this, because it doesn't say between 136 and 201 in the affidavit that, and they would have put that in there because they were trying to keep track of the comings and goings. They wouldn't have said they would have said she left again.
Mm-hmm.
And it would only be for a few minutes. So that's why I'm making the assumption that he got there first,
And then she
closely followed by her.
came,
Okay.
20 minutes out, 20 minutes out.
So she's returning. And even if she went out, went back in, I don't think it really changes much in this part. Okay. Then it said at 2:24, surveillance shows a white Jeep pulling out of 80 Mountain Spring Road and turning right on the Mountain Spring Road northbound towards Jefferson Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Jefferson Crossing is where the Fotis Dulos home was. Okay. At 3:55, surveillance shows the Jeep returning to 80 Mountain Spring Road. Okay. So she's returning with Jeep. So you can see all three vehicles are there. I'm leaving them in the picture so you guys can see, who's driving and where the vehicles are. Okay. So now leaving is the black Suburban with the Thule rack leaving 80 Mountain Spring Road. I'm assuming it's still Fotis, but, not
right.
sure.
It's because these are the cars. We don't really know who are in the vehicles.
It could have been her as well. It could have been both of them, one of them. I just left his picture in there. I'm assuming it was him, but I don't know.
He may just be the owner. Yeah.
So then returning at 4:23 p.m., 20 minutes later, Troconis drove away in the Chevy Suburban residence. Shows the Suburban returning to 80. Okay, so okay, that's why I left it on there, because it says he drove away and then now he's returning. So I was right from the picture before. Sorry, guys, this stuff is I had to be very careful with who, what, where, and how. So he's returning. So they left and he's returning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
at 4:58 p.m.
the Ford Raptor comes into place, operated by, and how you say his name?
I say, Gumini.
Gumini, I think that's correct. Gumini arriving here. So now there's 4 vehicles. You got the red truck, you got the Ford Raptor, you got the Jeep, and you got this other Suburban vehicle with the thing on top, the Thule thing on top. Okay. So now, because, let me back up. I messed up. Sorry, guys. I missed one point. He was expecting to find a key. This is Gumini. He was expecting to find a key to his truck in the kitchen. When he went to kitchen area, he was looking for his key so he can probably get his truck and leave or what have you, where it was normally kept, but he was unable to find it. Yeah. So he drove off to Deercliff Road. So basically, they all left at 5:02.
So this is the question. He was expecting to find his key, which means he wasn't driving that vehicle.
He wasn't driving the red one,
so
yes.
Yep. He wasn't
it.
driving it.
He wasn't driving it. He was definitely one that wasn't driving. Someone else was driving it.
Exactly.
We all know who. So the surveillance shows the Ford Raptor leaving the property as Gumini drives the truck back to Jefferson Crossing. Within approximately 30 seconds, the Jeep is shown backing out of the driveway, stopping on Mountain Spring Road just south of the driveway. The black Chevrolet Suburban then pulls at the end of the driveway, sits for a possible earshot of the Jeep for 10-15 seconds for no apparent reason, no traffic passing, before pulling out north on Mountain Spring Road. Troconis follows the Suburban northbound the Jeep. So they're all leaving. Poof. Okay? I'm so glad I got these arrows. The red truck is still there, but all 3 vehicles leave. Okay? And then at 5:14, surveillance shows a Ford Raptor pulling in back into 80 Mountain Spring Road. Dulos is in the Ford Raptor with Gumini as a passenger. Okay? As he tries to pick up his Toyota Tacoma. He arrived back at his truck. He noticed the key, which had been seen in the passenger door lock, has been removed, the absence of the only key to his vehicle. So Dulos offered to let Gumini take the Ford Raptor for the weekend, but, of course he wanted his stuff. He wanted to transport his dirt bike, and he just wanted his vehicle. So then Dulos on the cell phone calls Troconis, telling her to return with the keys. So the surveillance shows the black Chevrolet Suburban with Troconis, returning with the key. See how this is so much better than the other one I did? The other one I did was good for those time periods, but this is visual to show you who's there, who's not. Okay, so keeping track of all the vehicles here. And then at 5:27, the black Chevrolet Suburban driven by Troconis is leaving. The red Toyota Tacoma driven by Gamini pulls out on Mountain Spring Road. And then surveillance shows the Ford Raptor pulling out of Mountain Spring northbound. Dulos leave. So all three of these vehicles finally leave. So after this, there'd be no more vehicles at this residence, okay?
So the question is, where are they going and coming and going?
That's where we'll talk about what do you guys all think? Boy, that was, and thank you guys. I'm sorry that, I'm stumbling through this because I had to be careful with those comings and goings. When I first read through it, the timeline was important. That's why I went through so you guys understand the timeline for people not familiar with the case. This one was the vehicles and, the drivers and everything like that to kind of understand who was driving what to our best of our ability. And at the time, now, that's as far as they got a lot of data to show the comings and goings. So hopefully that was a better picture for you guys to understand the dynamics. I mean, you could definitely tell he did not want Gamini to take that red truck. He wanted to stay there because obviously he wanted to work on it, but he relented.
Now, what happened in that red truck? Like it was there for a while and the keys couldn't been found. And
here's another thing too, which we're going to get to in a future episode, is what do they do with Jennifer? Because what's really interesting, and again, this is for another episode because we're going to break down that timeline. I usually do even deeper and say, where were some big major gaps. The biggest gap was at the house. But how much time was maybe spent at the park, because what did he do with the body? I mean, it doesn't really sound, it could have been transported back to the house and he did something with it there, but he really wouldn't have had a lot of time. I don't want to get into it right now.
About the smoke that was coming from the Farmington home. There was smoke coming out of the chimney. So, there's all speculation, guys.
Yeah. But that's going to be an interesting episode when we get into more of what could have happened with her. That's going to be a big episode. And that's going to take a lot of analysis to really, and again, it's for, the community, for us to decide based on the evidence and the evidence of the court documentation, nothing that we've made up. So we're going to stick to that stuff, the facts and what we know. Anything else, Shrock, you want to share?
I think, yes, this is more to come. That'd be interesting. And the question is, are they still looking for the body?
Yeah.
Because we already know Michelle Troconis is behind bars. So I believe that they will be still looking for the body, because definitely the mom, I believe her name is like Elizabeth but I know they're going to be at least looking for the body, which is something.
Yeah.
Because they still want peace,
A lot of people think, okay, it was in construction, all that. She's long gone. I don't want to say the words, but you could imagine somebody with that type of job and the means, she could have been put in a place, let's say, that could really never be found, or very hard to be found, or for a long time. But we're going to do, I don't want to, we'll do a future episode where we're going to talk about the possibilities. The park is one possibility. The house is another possibility. Yeah. Back at their location, another possibility. Or another possibility, which happens in other crimes, they hold on to, they put it in a temporary location and go another time. So with that, though, thank you guys so much for your patience going through this. I hope it was helpful to see the comings and goings of the vehicles and the places, and hopefully that helped a little bit more.
I think it did a good job with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Because it was kind of difficult even when you're reading through it, you're like, okay, I'm kind of confused. So the time was very clear, the coming and goings.
Yeah.
So, but the question is, why they were going, where were they going?
Yeah, absolutely. What were the things going on? So we'll have you guys decide, but hang in there. A lot more case information to go, and we'll be pulling a lot more information from you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Appreciate you.
And definitely appreciate you guys a lot. Until next time, we'll see you.
Studio 70.
Thank you.